Welcome to the Circuit of Success. I'm your host, Brett Gilliland, and today I'm fired up, man. If you know me, I like golf. This guy I'm talking to likes golf, and we're going to talk a little mindset. We're going to talk about some opportunity. I got Chef Michael Parks. Michael, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on your show, man.
Absolutely. I came across you through social media. I was reading an article and all this stuff that you were doing. You had a nice couple of weeks here.
Yeah, man. I was been out with DJ and the boys, man. We've been out on the tour. Almost won the Houston Open and showed up at the Masters hungry for a win, and he came through for us, man.
That's awesome. So those who may not know golf like Chef Michael and I here, so DJ Dustin Johnson, for those of you that may or may not know, won the Masters a couple of weeks ago. I guess it'd be a week ago, just a couple of days ago. So he's about 9 days in and winning the Masters, his first one ever. Grew up about 90 miles from Augusta, Georgia, where the Masters is at, and at Augusta National. And an amazing week, but you were the guy that the Johnson family hires. You've helped him through COVID. You helped him on tour. You've helped him with his diet. You've helped him exactly what your book is going to be about that's coming out next year is How to Fuel a Champion.
Yes,
so, man, I got lots of questions, but just kind of what's made you the man you are today? Because you don't just, again, wake up and start, feeding a Masters champion.
Well, I actually didn't start off in the food field. I was actually in the sales field. I was a sales executive for a while, and I've always been an athlete. Come from a family of athletes. It came when I was leaving corporate America. My nephew was playing at University of Georgia, and All-American safety, and he was asking me about his diet because he felt like he was a little bit too big and wasn't doing so well. And at that time, I was transitioning into the culinary world. And that's when I took the passion of fueling diets for people. Because, I'm still an athlete myself, golf, I work out every single day, run, all this other stuff. And, I'm getting older. The older we get, that stuff weighs on you. So, I figured, why not try these different diets out and see what I could do? And I started out with him and a couple other boys at Georgia, and it worked out well for gaining weight for some and maintaining weight for others and losing weight for some. And it was pretty successful. So I carried on, and that's something I wanted to do. Stayed in the country club field with this chef thing, and decided I needed to take it to the next level, man. And
that's
I just
awesome.
Just always hungry for more. I was never been the type that just, people get to talking to me about, hey man, tell me about yourself. And about 10 minutes in, they're like, whoa. Tell me everything. Because I jump around, they're like, you did this, and this, because I never could. Once it was like this, every field that I've been in, I've climbed my way to the top, right? Just naturally, and just that natural born leader aspect of myself, I guess. And then, I did it in everything I did. And then once I got to the country club level, I was like, I was doing a lot of country clubs. I started a business of rehabbing country clubs. I'll go into all over the country, man. I did about 300 or 400 of them, man. Go in, fix them up and everything. And that's how I kind of ran into DJ's agent. I was doing a club in Dallas, and I ran into this guy, and he was like, hey man, I got a guy that I need a private chef for. Are you interested? Because at that time, the company I had a bunch of chefs that I would contract out to celebrities, to other athletes, or what may have you, depending on what their diet or whatever they needed per se. And I was like, yeah, I got somebody for you. I personally won't do it because I'm not into all that traveling, and I'm not into all that. My wife would kill me if I go back on the road type thing. And he was like, well, I didn't tell you who it was. I was like, it doesn't matter. I'll find somebody for you. Just let me know who it is, what you need, et cetera, et cetera. Then he told me who it was, and I was like, I was like, I think I want, because I was a fan of Dustin's,
Right.
And I was like, I think I can possibly handle
All
this.
of a sudden, there's an opening.
Yes. So I called my wife up, and I was like, hey, babe, do you think, I explained to her, she doesn't know a lot about golf. She just knows that she thinks I love golf more than I love her. That's the only thing she knows about golf.
Right. You're gone for 9 hours on a Saturday.
Well, tomorrow I'll be gone for a while, but which I haven't told her yet. But anyway, she's great though. But so she was like, she's always been supportive, and because she knows I jump industries like crazy, and it's so funny that once I got in here the first year, we were like, hey man, it was tough because he didn't win and he was dealing with that injury and everything. But anyway, I decided to take the job. But the first year is real fun. I jump around a lot. I have ADD like crazy.
That's all good. We'll get along.
And so the first year before his win in Connecticut, I was like, man, I thought I was gonna quit. I was literally talking about leaving this year because I was like, hey man, this dude ain't winning. I was like, I feel like it's me, putting all the pressure on myself when I'm not hitting the club or anything.
Right.
I'm just fueling the man's diet. So after Connecticut, we talked. We literally, for our first real conversation, because he's even on the road together. He's not much for a lot of words. Just do what you're here to do. I'll do what I'm here to do, and then we'll go home and be with our families. That's pretty much how we are on the road. We have our good times, bad times. But anyway, after that win in Connecticut, he looked at me and I told him that I was like, man, I really was gonna leave at the end of the year because if you wasn't gonna win nothing. He was like, well, hell, I was thinking about firing you if I didn't win. So we both started laughing, and then we because the first year, it was me getting to know his diet, to be honest with you, because I would see him come in and he'd be tired, and I'm like, man, I have this stuff here that's good for you, but trying to change old habits are hard for even these pro athletes. Is really hard because they have systems and they believe that if they don't do something every single day, they ain't gonna play the same way they played yesterday. Yep. So we had a good talk, and I was like, let me take care of the food. You don't have to worry about the food. Let me just let me know how you're feeling when you come home. Just try it out and take what I give you, and see if this refuels you and it keeps you going and it keeps you energized throughout the day, so you're not tired and fatigued near the end of your round. And that's where he was coming up slipping at. Over the last 6 months, 7 months, his energy at the end of the rounds have been insane. It's been way different than it has been from the last few years. Okay,
that's incredible.
So yeah, I have a couple little things that I make for him now that he takes out there that refuels him. I even actually take it out on the course when I go play, and when I'm out there with the guys, every single one of them, hey man, you got that? They're juices, and what it does is just refuels their special juices, of course, that refuels your put all your micronutrients back into your body and fuels you up. You feel it going through your body, you immediately energized immediately. And it's. And
I suppose we got to buy the book for that, or you're gonna give us a little secret?
I don't know, man.
Dustin's gonna tell you to keep your mouth shut because you want to win another Masters in April. You got to keep a secret safe.
It's funny thing. I had Joaquin Neiman. He's also a tour player. He called me yesterday or day before yesterday. He sent me a text. Say, hey man, what are you doing? What are you fueling him with? Because he noticed. Him and another guy noticed. It was like, hey, what are you fueling this guy with, man? He's looking better at the end of these rounds. What are you doing? And I was like, you can set up a consultation, whatever you want. If you want to talk about diets and stuff, I'm game. So I have an appointment with him next week. So
nice. Well, good luck.
Yeah, so that's
fueling all the champions.
Yeah, I'm trying to, man.
So walk us through that, and we'll talk about a lot of different stuff, but I'm just picturing, I'm assuming he's in a house, they're on the grounds there, the Masters, somewhere around there, and all those houses they have, and so you're coming in that morning, I assume you're staying in another house or a hotel somewhere. You come in, he's got all the stuff there in the house, right, that you've basically put in there, I assume, and then you just get in there. You get to work, you're cooking him and probably his, family and Wayne Gretzky, whoever else is all staying there. Yep. You're getting in there, you're cooking them breakfast, but you're also cooking him stuff throughout the day to keep him fueled. Is that kind of how that process works?
Well, we all stay together. Usually when the families and everybody don't come, it's just a team. It's usually 4 or 5 of us. Joey, AJ, him, Claude, and sometimes Marnus or this other guy. They're physio guys.
Okay.
And when the family stays, which is this is actually the second time I think they've stayed. They've come to a tournament. And usually first thing we do, as soon as I get off the plane, they're getting in their rental car, they're going to get tested. I get in my rental car, I'm going straight to the store, load up, get there, depending on what time it is. Then I start preparing everything. I try to stay 2 days ahead of time. It's hard because I don't know what I make every day. There's no meal, there's no plan. It's like how you feeling, what your body feels like, because a lot of people don't eat how their body tells them to eat. And that's one of the biggest problems with a lot of diets, and people try to stay on these diets. And I'm not a big believer in diets myself. I just believe in eating clean and exercise, and that's all you got to do. And, other little things. But, tell me how you feeling. If you're feeling a little lethargic, you got a round tomorrow, we'll probably do a little pasta to get more carbs in you. So I always ask him how he feels before dinner time, because I always have stuff prepared. I have 3 meals prepared ahead, kind of like ahead, that I can just sear them. As a professional chef, it'll take me 15 minutes to make 20 minutes to make a meal for about 5 to 10 guys.
Wow. So that deal's already made. So he's coming in after a round on a Wednesday after a practice round and saying, "Hey, I'm feeling like X." Yeah. Well, then the math problem is, and we're going to have option number 2.
Exactly. That's when I'll put the whole menu together for the next day, for Thursday. So Thursday is his play day. Depending if he's playing in the morning or afternoon. If he's playing in the morning, we'll go breakfast. If he's playing early, we'll go breakfast 5, maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock. Then he gets a workout in, comes back from the workout. He usually likes to get to the course 2 hours ahead of time before he tees off. We'll do a light meal, depending. If his tea time's like 11, we usually do something light, like a juice or protein bar, or just something light. He doesn't like to be too heavy before he goes and plays. Yeah. And we always send him off with almond butter and jam sandwiches. That's a thing. If I don't
so literally you're taking 2 pieces of bread and then you're putting almond butter and then like some jelly or something on it.
Yeah, but real thin, like this. It's called everything we eat is we eat nothing white. If it ain't dark brown or pumpernickel dark, we're not eating it. Whether it's whatever it is, the only thing white that we kind of eat is cauliflower, and that's kind of like our mashed potatoes. When we want mashed potatoes, we'll mix that. I'll mix that with a little bit of sweet potatoes, and we'll do a nice mash, and it's real nice and thick, and that's about the only thing. But everything else is really, really clean, man. He's probably, when I first took this thing on, I was like, this is gonna be easy because I don't have to change you to too much stuff because you eat clean already. He knows, he knows what his body needs, and it kind of made it easy for me. But he was kind of, I need some flavor. I don't want no bland, because a lot of these, you think of world-class athletes, you're thinking vegetables, protein, no salt, no pepper, but that's not the case. You got to eat. If salt and pepper is not going to kill you, especially if you're a high-performance athlete. It's actually going to help you. But that's pretty much what we do, man. We eat clean. Salt and pepper is pretty much the seasoning that we use. Olive oil, and I make everything else right. I mean, it's pretty simple.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what's that Monday or that Sunday morning? He comes in. He's got at that point. What was that, like a 3? What do you have, a 3-shot lead, something like that?
Let me tell you like this. Nobody knows this.
All right.
Sunday morning. So I watch everything. I see I know how he's gonna play before he walks out that door. I know what kind of day he's gonna have, how he eats, how just how he walks, just everything. I'm the first one to see him and the last one to see him walk out that door. All right. So we have this little ritual. But that Sunday, me and Wayne both were like, oh shit. But he had nerves going through. He didn't eat. He tried to eat. He couldn't swallow. He had no saliva. He was that nervous that morning. And he was up early. So he was extremely nervous, man. But of course, he never shows it. And then he was telling me, we were on the plane on the way back, and we were just all laughing. And he was like, man, I'm starving. I was like, dude, you didn't eat anything? He's like, every time I put something in my mouth, I had to spit it out because it turned into like bark because I had no saliva in my mouth.
You're either going to vomit or choke to death.
Yes. He was like, I was so nervous all day long, but but I did it, you know, and it was real cool, man. It was a real cool experience. But that morning he was nervous, man. And
It makes me feel better about myself. I thought you were going to say he got up and had this amazing breakfast and was relaxed.
Oh no, we're there. He's human. Everybody thinks he's not human, man, but the guy's a machine, and he just knows how to handle himself on and off the course, and you know, he keeps it strictly professional, man. And a lot of people beat him up for that, man. But I applaud him to death of that, because I see a lot of guys out there, man, they choke, and they can choke. Yeah. But if he chokes, you ain't even gonna know he's choking. You know?
Yeah, no. I think you saw the emotions, right? I mean, hell, the dude couldn't even talk. And I think for me, it just showed how much it really, really meant to him, right? We put these guys on a pedestal sometimes. I know you do it in the business world, right? You look at an athlete or a high-end business person, you think they're different, and they're not. Nah. And he put his pants on the same way we all did, one leg at a time that morning, and he just happened to go out and play for the Masters. Yeah, and he got it done, man. And I remember before we even got to the Masters, man, he was like, he knew he was gonna win it. He just I don't know what happened in Connecticut, man. Something changed with us in Connecticut as a team. I just don't know how to describe the tournaments before that, but something happened. And when was Connecticut? What month was that? I want to say July, maybe. Okay. June, July, something like that. And then he got COVID in what, September? Last month he got COVID. Yeah, I think it was last month he got COVID. Yeah. And that was huge too. I was actually headed to Vegas, and when I was headed to Vegas, they called me and like, "Hey man, don't come." I was like, "What happened?" And they told me he tested positive, and I was like, "Oh shit," you know? Yeah. So I didn't even have to go out there, and I just had a few extra weeks off, but I was calling him, seeing how he was doing. He was telling me about his food intake and everything, and some stuff he had to push down, and he couldn't hold. But when I got a hold of him after COVID, he was weak, man. I mean, I'm surprised. I can't say that, but I'm surprised in Houston he completed that tournament. Yeah. He was tired, man, and he was tired. And when you're tired and have that kind of fatigue, man, I mean, you know, kind of messes with you mentally. Don't know if you can, you know. But you know, I think what happened in Houston was the fans. When I guarantee those fans out there is what pushed them to the brink of playing that whole entire tournament and almost winning it. So, that's incredible. Hope we get those fans back sooner rather than later, man. I know they feed off of it. It looks. I don't know. Were you able to walk around during the tournament? I get time. I mean, this year we had opportunities, man, but I'm not. I've done it. I've done it, and it's just, you know, it's hard for me to watch him play with no fans because I'm a little loud and I cuss a lot. And if he's playing bad, dude, it's not a good look for me, man. Really. Yeah. And who the heck is that guy? Oh, that's just DJ's chef over there. Act like an idiot behind the trees. You have no idea. I've been last year was really tough, and me and Joey can't go out either. Me and Joey D, we both just lose our minds when we're out there. If we're watching him and he's playing bad, we just can't do it. So we just don't even go at all. If we do, we go near the end, like he's in the winning or something like that this year that we did. Other than that, I can't do it, man. Hard. I'm getting too old for this, man. So when did you get to first see him or give him a big hug or shake his hand, whatever you got to do? Directly after it, right after it, we were there. I went and picked up AJ because AJ wanted to come on because DJ was going to be there for a few hours doing the interviews and everything. And we were right across the street directly across the street from Azalea. We were on Azalea Lane. Okay. We were directly across the street, like literally walking distance. And AJ had the bag. He's like, "Hey man, can you come get me, man?" He was like, "Please drive down here and get me." And I was headed down there to get him. And then it was fans all out there because they saw him with the bag and who he was. And we had to jump in the car. He signed a few autographs or whatever, but we jumped in the car and took off and headed back to the house. And then people were all standing outside the house. It was pretty cool, man. It was surreal because when we were in there, it was me, it was Wayne, Ms. Janet, a couple Wayne's sons and some other guys, and just listening to him talk, man, it was just. And then when AJ started crying, we all just lost it, man.
and they had to. Actually, I was texting AJ, and I got the text, and I was like, as I'm watching you cry on TV, and he didn't even know when he got home. He's like, they got me on TV crying, and we showed him. He was like, shit, man. He was like, I'm gangster, 75% of the day, but you caught me on that 1% of the day. That because everybody tries to, you know how they do. They try to hold their voices in and try to be. But that was huge for them, man. Just listening to them talk about it afterwards, how they did it, and when we were kids, we were dreaming about this. I'm getting chills all over. It was just real cool just listening to them two appreciate where they were after it was over. We were in the house and getting ready to head to the airport, and it was real cool, man.
The last question about this, and we'll move on to some other stuff. What's that plane ride like after your buddy just wins the Masters? And where'd you fly to? Did you fly back to California, or where'd you fly to?
No, we flew straight to because we flew straight to Palm Beach. He lives in Jupiter.
Okay, yeah.
So we flew straight to Palm Beach, and I don't remember landing. I don't remember much. I don't drink at all. I'm not a big drinker, and I had bottles of champagne was on the plane, and I don't know. I lost count, and then next thing I know, I was at the hotel, and because I didn't make it home. I actually had to scare my wife had COVID, so I had to stay at a hotel up there for a couple of days until she got her results back. So yeah, but that's awesome. It was pretty cool. We actually we didn't have enough room on the plane. We had extra people on the plane because he won. We went there with 5 people. We ended up going home with 14 people. So
oh gosh,
bags didn't show up. Bags couldn't make it on the plane. Actually, we didn't have enough. It was fun, man. It was a nice
Thank God for private planes.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's about the best perk I got going on here in this thing here. Besides playing all those cool courses.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool, man. So what are you learning from, not only just from DJ, but just other people you've been around and other, whether it's business or sports, entertainment? I mean, there's something that differentiates that top 1%. Wouldn't you agree? And if so, what do you think it is?
It's the drive, man, of, how can I say? I tried to explain this to my wife. I'm not really good at this, but let's see if I can put it in words. It's the drive that these people have, okay, that these guys have that I've been around. Mostly all the successful guys, right? Because I private chef for a couple billionaire guys as well. And in these high-end country clubs I've been in and just sitting down talking with all these guys, friends with a lot of them. And it's just their drive, man, of not giving up and always, something shuts down. Okay, I got to find another solution. How am I going to get this? How am I going to get this deal done? Or how am I going to win this tournament? Or how am I going to, how am I going to make my team better? Whatever it may be. It's the drive that these guys have and the ambition that these people have, man. And that's something that I gotta say I've learned, and it's just don't give up, because just like in golf, man, you tee off, you might go in the woods, your buddy tee off right down the middle, but you can finish with a 5. He might stroke it out of bounds or something, but you just can't give up. Right. He might finish with a 9, you're gonna finish with a 6, and you was out of bounds first, and he was over there licking his chops. Yep. So you never know if you don't finish. So finish what you start, and the success is how far you want to take it.
That's right.
Yeah,
I think you're totally right. I mean, I think it's also maybe that focus. When I look at the successful people I have the pleasure of interviewing every week, and then from our own advisors to our own clients and people in the community, it's amazing how the most successful, number one, can bounce back from defeat like really quickly, and then number 2, the power to focus and say no to things that may not impact me winning the Masters or winning that deal, right?
100%. That focus is, I'll tell you about focus. I know if this guy's focused or not. If I ask him, hey man, what you want for dinner tonight? And he's sitting there and don't answer me, I know he's going to have a good day, because that's when I know that man is focused, that I'm working with there, because he just spaces out, and I don't know where he goes, but he just is blank. And we're at the first, I would look at like Joey or the other guys like, okay, is this dude just going to ignore me like this or what?
Right. Right.
What's up? And then I gained to learn myself. Hey man, this guy, this is where he goes into his place. It's usually before or after a round.
What do you think about? Sorry, no, keep going.
I think it's more of him playing his shots. This is what I personally think: playing his shots out before he's hitting them, type deal, or like afterwards when he's like that, or what he messed up or what he messed up on, because he'll snap right back out of it and answer the question that I asked him 10 minutes ago, which blows me away. So yeah.
What do you think though? That's also wouldn't you agree that's trust though too, right? I mean, he's not there to decide necessarily what he wants to eat. That's what he's paying you to do.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And he's paid to go hit the golf shots. And so I think what I learned from that is trust the team around you. So again, if I'm in the business world, because we're not all playing the Masters, I've got to have my team in place, trust that team to get the job done that they were hired to do.
100%. I mean, that I didn't say nothing like that, because that's one of the first things that, you do. Everybody does do their job, and there's no way we can fail. Yep. So yeah, 100%. I remember AJ forgot his glasses. Lord have mercy. Why did he do that? That's the first time I heard that comment. Hey man, this is your job, man. It's part of your job. Hey, everybody do their job. We all be successful. You can't be successful without. No, it was not his glass, a protractor or something that they were trying to read the winds or something like that. Which, when I learned all that, man, what AJ does, man. I gotta tell you, man.
And for those that don't know, AJ is DJ's brother.
Yeah, and that's his caddy.
Yeah, his caddy.
Those caddies, man, that's a hard job, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want the job at all.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Another thing I learned by watching them is you got to have a process. I keep saying these same things over and over, but if I'm in the boardroom or I'm in my office right here, I got to have the same process every time. Yeah. And to the point where I was like, man, dude's got like a 1.5 foot putt and it looks straight uphill. And what's his brother do? AJ goes, stands between the ball. Dustin goes over there, looks back at it. I'm like, seriously? I mean, just tap the damn thing in. Hey, but it's a passion for that process.
Dude, we clowned him so hard after that. I was like, dude, what the hell was you doing? I was like, what'd you do? Just wanted some extra TV time or something? It's like, what are you doing? And what you just said, hey man, we got to trust the process.
Yeah.
And I shut the hell up. I was like, do what you do. I will never question nothing else that you do. And that's
you do you.
And if you notice as well, when AJ started helping him out and they started congealing a little bit more, that's when the success started. I saw things start changing as well. And there was a couple other things that I will not say that also made that change, but it was all had to do with that same situation, but it was, went into a different way, but it was necessary. And I was like, okay, now I felt like I was in a team because that was the first friction, There was never any friction. Everybody was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then, things got serious. And then when things got serious, everybody got serious and everybody took it to heart, and we just all became, like we said, we all became champions. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah, I mean, the focus, I told my wife, I was like, I can't even believe how I'm changing my focus, even though, I'm humble to the utmost. And I feel like, what I'm doing is not much of anything. I'm just making sure these guys are fueled right. And they, they can go out there and function. But she's like, nah, man, like your process of what you're doing, like if you put this in front of somebody else and on a piece of paper, no other chef is not going to know what to do with this, or nobody else is not going to know. You have a process too, and I hear that
100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's
and that's what I was talking about earlier. Is your team, right? You got to get the best, and I think it's amazing that we talk about in the business world, guys that have business coaches, gals that have business coaches, and the best in the world, right? DJ's the #1 golfer in the world, but yet he's got a swing coach. So I say to our listeners out there, right, whatever that area is that you may need help in, don't have the pride or the ego or whatever it may be to not think you need help.
Right.
We all need help. I've had a business coach, for probably, 12 years. And it's worked amazing wonders on what I've done with my life. But you got to be able to say, okay, I need help, and I'm going to go get it. And these guys get help. He's got Claude Harmon the third.
Yep.
Dad's Butch Harmon. Obviously, they come from, unbelievable ranks from golf. But DJ, the number one golfer in the world, hires a coach.
Yep. And that's his coach. That's his guy.
Right.
Claude's a good man.
Well, that's good. We'll get him on the podcast, too.
I love that. You'll love Claude.
He's at, I think my buddies are at the Floridian right now golfing.
All right.
Guys? Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually tomorrow, this is not this week. Next Wednesday, I'm up there for a lesson before he goes to Mexico. I'm going up there I got to go up there. He's been helping me with my short game, so I'm trying to tighten that up. Yeah. That's
awesome. That's very good. Yeah, my buddy's a member down there, and I know he's down there quite a bit. And a lot of those guys are golfing there. So, so let's talk about when we're not winning the Masters and we're not playing well, right? We go out and we shoot for those guys in the worlds, they shoot 72, 73, and they're mad about it.
Yeah.
What are you seeing that may be different in DJ or others that the rest of us aren't doing?
Nothing changes. It's honestly, we sometimes wonder, did he lose? Did he just shoot a 72 or 73? Because he's acting like he shot a 62, So you don't know, and nothing really changes. The attitude doesn't change. I got to be honest with you, man. It's just like him shooting a 62 and shooting a 74. Nothing changes. Maybe he might come home and take that shirt off and throw it in the trash or the shoes or something like that, and he won't wear that again. But other than that, it's like, he never blames nobody on the team. He never blames anybody. He's like, damn, I played like shit today, or always on him. If he played bad, it's on him. You know what I'm saying? It's not because, that's pretty much.
My ADD does kick in here on this stuff. Other than like the Masters type shirt you're going to keep forever, but they keep those shirts and like they just go in the normal closet at home, like when they wear those clothes.
Yeah. Some of them they do. Yeah. Some of them he'll just lay there and like, hey man, I want
anybody want this?
I have some kids that like that some junior golfers that I like kind of like mentor or whatever up in Atlanta. And I'll send them the shirts or something. He'll sign them or something like that. I'll send them to them or what have you. But most of the time, if he's playing bad, them shirts that shit's a wrap.
We're done. We'll get a new one next week.
Get a new one next week. But yeah, you really, honestly, man, I gotta, not fluffing it up or nothing, man. But you just don't know. He is. I don't. Me personally, I would lose it. We're amateur golfers. If I shoot an 85, I'm losing my mind. Right. And I'm a 10. Because I rarely shoot over 82. That's my limit. And I shoot 85, 86. I'm cussing and throwing stuff, and he's like, we'll come home from, if we're on the road, how'd you play, chef? Tell him how I play. Man, I suck. Blah blah blah. Would you shoot? Tell him that. Then he's like, man, what you all upset for? You can play again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, so that's how he takes it too. He'll like, I got work to do. When he starts saying he got work to do, he didn't play well the day before, and he'll go out there and he'll fix it. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I've had, I've got a couple of buddies that are pitchers in the big leagues, and they talk about that too. That when they played, it was short-term memory. Give up a home run last night to lose the game, but then you get called out of the bullpen tomorrow. You can't be thinking about last night. No different. He can't be thinking about his 73. Nah. He's got to go out and reapply and be ready to rock.
Now I have seen a lot of those guys. A lot of those guys ain't on tour is not as headstrong as him, and it's talking to quite a few of them. And I do sneak food to a few other ones too. They be asking me, "Hey man, can you make me that burger, or can you do this or do that?" And I have done that quite a few times actually. Actually, on Tuesday nights we got the TaylorMade guys, all kind of guys. Everybody wants to come eat at our house now.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool because I'll do some crazy things on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and we get like a host of people on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But
so that's the TaylorMade guys. That's Rory and Tiger and all sorts of people.
Oh, it's all kind of guys. Rom, Phil, all those guys. Patrick Harrington. Saw him in Houston. He came over for dinner in Houston with some tailor-made guy. He's a really funny guy, man. Oh my God, that guy's funny.
That's awesome. So what advice would you give us that, again, we don't have, I'm not going to hire a personal chef tomorrow. But what advice would you give us that we want to be at peak performance in our personal life, our business life? What advice would you give?
And when I say this, and I hate this word myself, but I'm gonna say it, but you got to eat clean, man. And when I say eat clean, just stay away from everything that's white. And when I say that, I mean potatoes, bread.
So the dough and the pizza that I may order tonight with my kids to watch a movie.
Get cauliflower dough. You won't even know. The cauliflower crust. It's fantastic. You wouldn't even know. So, like I tell my guys and I tell people that don't want to eat their vegetables and don't want to change, like Claude, I have to juice his vegetables. I won't let people sit down at my table, and this is serious, at the house. You ain't eating vegetables. You can't sit here and eat with us. We're men. If you can't eat vegetables and you gonna cry about it, then go over there. Okay, I'll juice you some spinach. Okay, buddy. But what I say is food is fuel. That's how you got to look at it. If you look at it any other way, your body's not gonna be right, or you're not gonna be able to tune your body how you want it. You're not gonna be able to stay on that diet that you paid all this money for, or anything. It doesn't matter what you eat. Okay, if you just look at food as fuel. And what your body tells you what you need. I know when I need carbs, because I don't eat carbs at all, hardly. I know when my body tells me I need carbs, I'll go eat some carbs. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna do this, because it's gonna mess up your blood work, or it's gonna mess up whatever it may be. But just feed your body how your body tells you feed your body what it wants. It tells you what it wants all the time.
Yeah. So what about the juicing versus the just eating it? So I juice every morning. So I have a green juice every morning, and I've always wondered, is that as good for me, better for me, not as good for me?
But it depends how you juicing too, though. So, I ask people. First question I ask is, what kind of juice do you have?
So I don't know. It's an expensive one, but it's so that's usually pretty good. But I also buy a lot of it, at a fresh type grocery store. They use some high pressure, I don't know what they call it, some high pressure deal. Yeah. And that's how they make the juice.
And most of them aren't any good. Like I'm about to make juices now for the house. All right. It's gonna take me 3 hours to make these juices. Okay. So the juices that you want to, so they have a lot of different juicers. They have some those high pressure, they'll cost $400 or $500. Throw it in, boom, blends it up, and all that good stuff. The problem is when it strains, it's spinning. And that aluminum inside there that's spinning, it gets hot. So if it's getting hot, the vitamins and the nutrients, before it gets to the glass, it's dying. It's burning. You're killing it. You're cooking it. So what I use is a juice extractor. So it goes real slow. It presses, and everything that comes out is all dry pulp. I mean, there's nothing and it's dry, literally dry as sawdust. And I'm getting all the nutrients, all the vitamins that I need out of this juice. And I can hold those juices for up to a whole entire week, and they'll still be fresh, just like I pressed them. Those juices that you're getting out of those blender thingies,
I don't do the blender thingy.
Yeah.
Mine's the same way. It goes in this little bag I put over here, and it's dry. I mean, you can pick it up, and it's dry as can be.
Yep. But it's so this is where I learned. Using one of those, I gained more weight because of the sugar. Don't ask me, and had it tested as well. And then the ones with the fresh press, it's less sugar. I don't know if it was from the heat. Couldn't nobody tell me anything. I'm not gonna say I don't trust nutritionists and all these people, but these people kept giving me all these different answers. So I was like, okay, y'all don't know anything. Y'all don't know why this is that. Okay. But yeah, man, those fresh press ones, man, you'll get more bang for your buck. I guarantee you. It won't separate as much, because if you hold them, they'll separate completely. And the clearer it is when it's separated, the less nutrients were saved from when you were extracting that. if that makes
Got
sense.
it. So when I look at it in a bottle, sometimes, yeah, it goes the bottom like inch or two is like dark green, and then the top's like a light yellow or whatever.
Yeah. So a lot of the extracted ones won't do that, or if they do that, they won't. It just lasts longer and it tastes better, and you just get more bang for your buck. To be honest with you. Yeah.
The little one pager they got setting out where I buy a lot of them is talking about how phenomenal it is compared to what they used to do. So I don't know. So here's what I think. It's better than not doing it.
Yeah.
Right? It's better than not eating vegetables and better than just eating whatever, right?
Well,
having one of those, 2 or 3 of those a day.
If you're drinking, it's getting to your bloodstream much quicker than when you're digesting it through your body. To be honest with you, I'd rather drink it than
eat a whole plate of vegetables.
I honestly would.
Tastes a hell of a lot better. Well, in my closing comments here, man, any habits, rituals you think that you'd like either one yourself that you do, or something you see like a Dustin Johnson type do that's day in, day out without miss to help for success?
Well, eat right and don't miss any meals. You miss meals, you get grumpy, you get angry, you make bad decisions. I think if you don't eat right, your brain ain't working right, and you ain't gonna make the right proper decisions.
Yeah. And
that's just 100% fact. You ever been hungry on the golf course?
It ain't good. I get hangry.
Right. So that's in the boardroom as well. You could be sitting there, what have you. I mean, it's either way. You wake up for success. Just make sure you fuel your body, and the rest is up to you. The rest is God and however else, however you live in your life. You know what I'm saying?
And I assume that habit of eating clean and eating healthy and all that stuff, that probably plays a bigger role into our physical than even just the exercise. Fair?
Dude, I don't work out wait till you see these before and afters of some of these things of people not even working out that much. Just doing some walking, and in 6 months they're shedding. It's just how you eat. I mean, you might eat 5-6 times a day. But if you're eating 5-6 times a day, you are doing right. Okay?
Right.
Whether it's a juice or a snack or a meal in between those breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're doing right. Okay?
I like it.
Anybody else, catch up.
That's awesome. Well, Chef Michael Parks, your book's coming out. Hopefully, before the Masters or right around the Masters? I want it to be
before the Masters, but the publishers, that's all on them, man. Once it gets out of my hands, man, that's all on the boys with the suits.
All right. So what you're going to talk about, how to fuel a champion, and what all is going to be in that book?
Well, how to fuel a champion, and not just how to fuel a champion, but how to fuel the average person. Like I said, I'm going to have regular people in there, and I'll talk about different, whether it's fueling for weight to gain weight, because I'm working with some athletes now that need to gain some weight. So I'm going to fuel them healthy. There's healthy ways to gain weight, and there's bad ways to gain weight.
Love it. Love your passion, man. Love your passion. It was awesome being with you. You ever if I get down there to Florida, or you get up here to St. Louis area, man, let's play some golf.
Hey, man, you come down here, I'll take you to Jordan's, and we'll have a hell of a day out of it.
All right, let's do it, man. Hey, great being with you.
All right, thanks, man. Nice meeting you.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right.